Feet up into turn one. You see the brakes locking up, the smoke already. They get through. It's Ross Chastain who leads them through turn one.
I don't even know how you call that, Mike, but it's 5, 6 wide, and I think from a driver's standpoint, you don't want to tear the fenders off right here, but you know that you have to go and you have to try to at least protect your position, if not try to advance your position. So the guys in the back are trying to take advantage of it. The guys in the middle are trying to protect themselves, and down through the S's, we've got one sideways.
I just can't believe we all made it. Oh, there's some trouble for the 20 truck.
The 32 of Brett Holmes was the one we saw turned around. I believe this is Ed Jones in the 20.
Yeah, that looks like could have been an engine failure. Might cause a caution here early in the going.
That truck was pretty decent last year. Sheldon Creed ran it, was on pole. And Ed Jones, he's somebody who comes from a road racing background, an Indy Lights champion, ran in the IndyCar Series.
That's something you're going to see all day there, Kevin. Just forcing your way in. Kaz Grala dove to the inside of Grant Enfinger and made it inside of him. Hasn't completed the pass, but that was a strong move.
Yeah, and so many of these corners are enticing to turn in early. It's one of my biggest problems that I have here. There's so much room on the entries to the corner, but a late apex around the center of that curb allows you to get a run down the straightaway and off the corner. So you see Kaz just put an end to that.
Yeah.
Said, all right, buddy.
And Grant went off the road, as we said. That looks like maybe a broken track bar, Kevin, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Rear suspension problem there.
And this track is tough on the suspension because there's so many swells on this racetrack, and you have to run over so many curbs so hard in order to make good lap time. So it is definitely a racetrack that is hard on the equipment.
Such long laps here, 20 turns left and right. So much fun to watch. But Ross Chastain was in a league of his own yesterday. So far, looks like he has things under control with Kyle Busch behind him and last week's winner. And Ross Chastain continues to lead. He has been the standout, but this battle, wow, and Carson Hocevar goes around. The 0-2 is around of Chris Wright.
Oh, he's going to get stuck. He shouldn't have done that. You got to stay on the pavement. That gravel will eat you up. There's a perfect picture of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Mike, the truck that was just on pit road, I don't know what truck that was, but that's going to be the leader of this. He's going to have a good opportunity to be the leader of this race if everybody decides to pit, but we're getting close to the end of the stage.
That was turn 11 where that took place at the end of the long back straightaway.
Caution is out now for the second time.
You got to stay on the pavement and back up. You get in the gravel and you're stuck, and that's what the Worldwide Express truck is.
Carson Hocevar was in the top 5, running 5th when that just happened.
Yeah, and I bet what happened right there is he got in and the back of the truck started wheel hopping, and the truck went around. So, yeah, that's a tough break, and he's definitely waiting for the tow truck.
Let's listen to the 42 radio.
Power steering fluid ready just in case.
Copy.
That's what I'm fighting in the slow section.
10-4, 10-4.
Brake pedal to the floor, he says.
Wow, he's got all kinds of problems. Power steering fluid, brake pedal to the floor.
Gravel in his tires.
Stuck in the gravel. It's a bad sequence right there.
Tyler Ankrum in the 16, battling Kyle Busch right now for that 9th spot. Didn't they just name yesterday or today Tyler Ankrum Day here in Austin?
I don't know, but I want to celebrate it.
It's pretty special.
Not very many people get their own day. Tyler's a good kid, too.
From San Bernardino, California, but now he lives in North Carolina on a farm. Wears cowboy boots all around the track. Interesting young man.
He is. He's awesome, and you can see 22 years old. Best finish on the road course, 3rd here 2 years ago.
Well, let's not forget we're coming to the end of stage 1 here.
This is the final lap of it, and it's going to be Christian Eckes, winner of stage 1. He gets those 10 points, that extra bonus point. So strange not bringing out that caution, right?
Yeah,
this is kind of fun.
You get to win the stage point. Oh, keep on going, bud. Don't let off. I love it. I think it adds so much to the race.
From Texas in the field. And here's a battle again for the lead. Love this. Kyle Busch in the 51. Trying to win on a road course for the 2nd time in his career. And Ross Chastain in the 41 has never won on a road course in the Truck Series.
This battle is awesome. Seeing these two going toe-to-toe. Make sure you don't cut the corners there in the S.
Well, Mike, don't you think there has to be some sort of conversation in Kyle Busch's mind to say, okay, if we do get a caution at the end, I want to be in control of having a little bit better tire?
Yeah, and I think that we know that he could pit now and make it, and we thought that, but with not needing the points, he might take advantage of that. But I think with the fall off in the tires, Kyle has decided behind the wheel of that truck, I need to run these tires on out and have fresher ones than Ross, which could be a big advantage. He's already run a couple more laps than has Ross, so we'll see how this plays out.
Well, Kyle ran a 2:17.9 the last lap, the lap before, and the last lap was a 2:18.5. So he's definitely, the times are definitely falling off.
And I'm wondering, and you tell me, Kevin, are some of the drivers that have pitted, are they maybe taking it a little bit easier on their tires so they don't burn them up right now and have a little bit left for later?
That's a great question, because you look down the leaderboard here, and you've got Ben Rhodes, who ran a 2:16.70. Got Majeski 17.5. So Kyle's in clear track. So it's interesting to think that he would. I would be surprised if he was not going as fast as he could go.
Final lap of stage number 2. Kyle Busch in the 51. He will take the win. 5.2 seconds behind Zane Smith for second, and Parker Kligerman.
Can't get enough of racing? Then you've come to the right place. Welcome to overtake.gg. We've got the latest tips from the best in the field. We've got all the games, ACC, Gran Turismo, F1.
Smith for second, and Parker Kligerman.
It says 7 laps, but he's probably got 5. In theory, he should have a pretty easy time getting by.
There he is,
But
side
Ben's
by
making it
side.
tough.
Looked like a little contact there, but
for
Kyle
sure.
Busch gets him. Kyle moves into second. Ben Rhodes back to third.
What about the spotter? On you, hitting you?
Yep.
He's past you.
Contact.
8 tires are better than 4.
That's
Clear.
right.
Finally, Kyle Busch is in the pits. Jamie.
We saw Brian Patty visibly upset, but he remained composed over the radio with Kyle. Kyle ultimately apologizing, saying he was sorry. He was trying to figure out what the tire life was like, and to the best of his ability, he thinks they have 12 to 15 laps before they see any fall off. We have 15 to go. He said, I'm going to do the work. Wallace Allen up pit lane, a little bit of a different story. It's a different attitude. His crew chief, Wally Rogers, said, don't worry about anything. We're running our own race. We're doing a solid job. No adjustments for him. Heather?
And Haley Deegan's also in. When she was under caution there, she said the truck was sputtering just a little bit, so they might have been getting close on fuel. They're going to take the time here, too, to fix the damage on the right front of that 13.
So 5 of the top 10 had to pit there.
And 41 of Ross Chastain, they came to pit road, must still be working on that fuel pressure issue. They thought they had it squared away, but obviously there's still issues.
Yeah, and that's what worried me earlier when they were talking about having to pit, and we saw the truck shut off going down the straightaway. So that's why we were asking so many questions. We thought there might be something here, and obviously the team didn't lead us down that road completely, but something had to go wrong.
Isn't it kind of fun to be getting in the bed of your truck?
That's not something I've ever seen. Very interesting. They're working on it. Too bad, because he had a great day. Zane Smith, no friends around him as the white flag comes out.
Yeah, right now he's just thinking to himself, all right, I can see where Kyle is in my mirror. All I need to do is just keep this thing in between the lines, not make any big mistakes right here. When I come to the S's right here, make sure I have myself plenty of room to not be in position for a penalty. And it just all went their way. You know, they put themselves in position, like you said earlier, Jamie, to capitalize on that caution flag and be on pit road and still get the stage points. And you know, Kyle's team was on the other end of the spectrum. They didn't pit at the right time and put themselves behind, and that's really what put Zane in position to be in contention to control this race, was the pit stop. It all came down to the pit stop, and we talked about that before the race started. A lot of what's going to happen today is going to happen on top of that pit box.
But some good news for Kyle Busch. He might have gotten beaten anyway, because the last time by about a half a second faster was Zane Smith, and he's got a 5-second lead. So that is a really fast 38 truck. Everything worked out, but Kyle might have come up short anyway.
We heard from Zane Smith at the start of the show, and he said, you know, I feel like the truck was a little bit better in some areas last year, I don't know. He led 11 laps last year, and he's already led 15 laps today. So I'd say in race, it's been a little bit better.
A lot of Zane Smith time here today. Chris Lawson on the pit box making the perfect calls. And this kid has driven a perfect race.
23-year-old out of Huntington Beach, California.
There's Chris.
Won the last 2 straight races here in Austin. 2 different drivers looking to do it again.
All good. That's what you want to hear on the last lap. Nice gap.
He got a little roughed up. He's got some damage on that truck. He had to earn it. And here he comes, the last turn. The 38,
All right, check your flag.
Zane Smith.
He'll
He'll win it at Circuit of the Americas.
It's here. The power and speed of Frontier Fiber 5 gig internet. That means better saving the
adjustments. It's race number 3 at Cota for the Xfinity Series.